One of our viewers left a comment that stopped me cold. She said she spent $300 on Disney Lightning Lane Multipass for her family of four and used it for maybe two rides the entire trip. $300 gone. And the worst part? That is not even close to unusual. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact strategy that gets your family on the same rides. The big ones, the ones with the long lines, for around $50 total. Not per person, total. Let's get into it. Here's why this keeps happening. Disney's Lightning Lane system has two completely separate products, and most families don't realize they're different things. They hear Lightning Lane and assume they need to buy everything. That assumption is costing families hundreds of dollars per trip. Lightning Lane Multipass is Disney's version of what used to be called Genie Plus. You pay per person per day, currently anywhere from $50 to $35, depending on the date, and it gives you access to Lightning Lane return times on a large selection of rides throughout the day. Sounds great on paper. But here's the catch. The most popular rides in every park are not included. Tron, Guardians of the Galaxy. Those are completely separate and they cost extra on top of Multipass. So let's do the math. Multipass for a family of four on a busy date. Say $120. Then you add individual Lightning Lane for the top rides. That's another $8 to $25 per person per ride. You can see how fast $300 happens. And if you bought Multipass and then ran the reverse route strategy I covered in another video, you probably didn't even need it for the rides it covers. So here is the core of the $50 strategy. Instead of buying Multipass at all, you target only the individual Lightning Lane rides, the ones that actually have the brutal waits. At Magic Kingdom, that's Tron Light Cycle Jewel Run. At Epcot, it's Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. At Hollywood Studios, it's nothing right now. The standby game there is very manageable with good routing. And if you're hitting Animal Kingdom, check the app the morning of. Individual passes there move fast but aren't always necessary. Here is what you do not need to pay for if you follow the routing strategies on this channel. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Hit it at rope drop going right first and the wait is manageable. Space Mountain? Same. Peter Pan? Yes, the wait is always long, but with good timing, you can hit it mid-afternoon when crowds thin. Haunted Mansion? Honestly, rarely worth a paid pass. The rides that eat your day are the individual Lightning Lane rides. Everything else is a route issue, not a money problem. Now here's where the strategy gets really powerful. Every single Disney World resort guest, and that includes value resorts like All-Star Movies, gets early theme park entry. 30 minutes before the park opens to the general public, you're already inside. That is completely free. It is included with your hotel stay. And for most families, those 30 minutes are worth more than Multipass. Here's how to stack it. You use early entry to hit one or two high-demand rides with almost no wait. Seven Dwarfs, Haunted Mansion, whatever is on your family's list. Then, right when the park opens to everyone else and the crowds flood in, you hop on your pre-booked individual Lightning Lane for Tron or Guardians. You've now covered four rides, two for free with early entry, two with Lightning Lane, and it's barely 9:30 in the morning. Okay, let's talk about the actual booking process because this is where people mess up. Individual Lightning Lane passes go on sale at 7 a.m. on the day of your visit, but only if you're staying on Disney property. Off-site guests have to wait until the park opens. So if you're a resort guest, set an alarm for 6:35 a.m. and be ready on the My Disney Experience app. Step 1, open My Disney Experience at 7 a.m. Step 2, go to Lightning Lane and select individual Lightning Lane. Step 3, book your highest priority ride first. For Magic Kingdom, that's Tron. For Epcot, that's Guardians. And Guardians sells out within minutes, so do not hesitate. Step 4, if you have a second ride to book, do it immediately after. Step 5, go back to sleep or get everyone ready for early entry. You're done. If you're doing multiple parks over multiple days, the strategy scales really cleanly. Budget 1, individual Lightning Lane purchase per park, per family, for the single biggest ride at that park. Magic Kingdom, Tron, Epcot, Guardians, Hollywood Studios. Honestly, with good rope drop strategy, you may not need one at all right now. Animal Kingdom. Check the morning of. That's it. You're looking at 1 to 2 purchases per park day, not a blanket multipass for everyone. Let's put real numbers on this. For a family of four at Magic Kingdom, individual Lightning Lane for Tron runs roughly $8 to $20 per person, depending on the day. Let's call it $40 to $80 for the family. Compare that to Multipass at $15 to $35 per person, $60 to $140, and you still have to pay extra for Tron on top of that. The individual only strategy wins on price almost every time if your family is riding Tron regardless. To be fair, there are situations where Multipass does make sense. If your family has young kids who can't ride the thrill rides and you want shorter waits on Buzz Lightyear Dumbo, and it's a small world all day, Multipass might actually be worth it. If you're visiting during peak season, spring break, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and every standby line is 2 hours long, Multipass gives you more options. And if someone in your group has mobility considerations and needs Lightning Lane access across more rides, Multipass is probably the right call. Know your family's situation and apply the strategy that fits. So here's the whole thing in 30 seconds. Skip Multipass for most trips. Buy individual Lightning Lane only for the one or two rides that truly have the brutal waits, Tron and Guardians. Stack it with free early entry to knock out two more rides before the crowds hit. Book at 7 a.m. sharp if you're a resort guest. And use good routing for everything else. That is the $50 strategy. It works. And it'll save your family $100 to $250 per trip, money that is way better spent on Dole Whips. If this helped you, subscribe to Main Street Map. I put out Disney World planning tips every week designed specifically for families who want to do Disney right without spending more than they need to. And drop your park and group size in the comments. I'll tell you exactly what to buy and what to skip for your specific trip.